Hey everyone, it's Brian and Andrew from IGN. We have been playing Spider-Man nonstop. We've both 100% of the game gotten the platinum, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Which you probably are at home. And so maybe you're saying to yourself, I want more Spider-Man. And not just in video game form, not just in movie form, not just in comic form. You want Spider-Man collectibles. I know that's what's happening to us. We were bitten by the bug, proverbially, as they say. It's a spider, an insect.
The radioactive toy bug.
Which got you to do something that is totally not out of character for you, but also something I thought we'd talk about. You bought a Spider-Man Nendoroid.
Yeah, so I'm the kind of person, as like a nerdy toy collector, who plays a thing or watches a film or gets really into a TV show, and I want it, like both of us have desks covered in toys.
It's crazy.
And they're just kind of, they express what we're really into. So because I've been so into Spider-Man, I wanted a really good Homecoming figure, because they've been doing a lot. There are a lot of like really crazy high-end ones, like $300 Hot Toys ones, and then there's some that like go run the gamut from really cheap, like Funko Pop, all the way to like middle. So I ended up getting a Homecoming Nendoroid, and these are technically out of print. They're from back when the movie came out, but I got this one on a site called Game that still has them in stock. And this is like, so Nendoroids, if people don't know, they have a bunch of them. They have a Zelda one, or they have several Zelda ones.
Yeah, I've got a Wind Waker one. I've got one for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and
you've got a bunch for Persona?
I have a bunch of Persona ones. I have a Pokemon one. Like, it's just a lot of brands. Their licenses are pretty wide.
They are effectively hyper stylized, or super deformed, as they say. Kind of like fully articulated bobbleheads without the bobble part.
They're like, they're like crazy high-end Funko Pops.
Chibi, I say, would be a way to describe them too.
Totally.
So if Funko Pops go for like 10 or 15 bucks, these usually go for much more, usually in the $50, $60, $70 range. Sometimes even more than that if you get the deluxe versions that come with tons of accessories. Now the one you have today, obviously based on Homecoming, if you're playing Spider-Man for PS4, you've seen a whole bunch of the costumes in that game.
And this one's the Stark suit in the game.
So this is the Stark suit, which we were really happy to see in the game, and you've seen it in the film. But specifically on this toy, I think they did a fantastic job of recreating that suit and finding a sort of way to blend the hyper-stylized version of Nendoroids and also the iconic look of that suit in the film. So he comes with some different accessories here, which I think are really cool. Most importantly, he's got a bunch of different eyes that you can swap in and out, which when you think about action figures at, at the 6-inch scale, which we'll talk about in a minute, it's kind of hard to build in accessories that can swap out facial features, so you're usually locked into one look on each one.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about these, like they make them expressive because they have typical Nendoroids have swappable heads and hands and accessories, and you have that here. Obviously, one of the trademark things of Homecoming is that he can, like Deadpool, kind of adjust his eyes, and they're much more expressive. So you have that here. You also have, I can actually pop this off and switch it. One of the heads is just...
No! The death of Spider-Man!
It's just Peter Parker's head, stylized to look sort of like a little anime Tom Holland, which I think is really cute.
Which I really love. Like, so these all have a very specific style, and they definitely go with a more anime look. One thing that's worth noting about these that are different than regular action figures is, based on their style, they have incredibly dainty little toes and little feet. And so what that means when they're top heavy and they have big heads is it's very hard to get them to stand on their own. Luckily, the company has made great efforts to circumvent that by allowing you, again, very articulated stands, which doesn't really make sense for a lot of figures who are kind of more grounded, but for Spider-Man, if you want him jumping up and kicking and shooting webs, you can build that right into the base. He's got a little plug right on the back of his suit or his back there.
And this is just one of two included actual, like the base is included and then there are two articulated stands, so you can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
And so their display boxes are really cool too. We'll pop this one open real quick just to kind of show off the different accessories in here. And so, I really love these. Like, so it's got little instructions inside there. There's the box itself. And obviously, we've got a bunch of different eyes, a bunch of different hands. We've got longer webs and shorter webs, so you can sort of make it look like he's shooting somewhere or hanging from somewhere, whatever you want to do. They even have
different like they pay so much attention. They have different connectors that are either red or skin colored in case you're using his spider head or normal human head, which is really cool.
So what did this run you again?
So I got this from a site called Game that still has in stock. It's about $100. I think like the thing with Nendoroids is that they are very commonly faked. So you have to be really careful to not buy a bootleg. So you have to be careful for out-of-print ones, especially to make sure you're getting them from a reputable place. The best bet for new ones, like I have, for example, the Kratos one upcoming. I have the new Persona 5 ones. Those I pre-ordered directly via Good Smile, via their official online store.
Got it.
That's your safest way and really your cheapest way, because you'll probably get them, you know, at MSRP.
Yep.
Which, like you said, runs from like 50 to 100, depending on how deluxe it is, how many accessories are with it.
Play Asia is another site I get them from. It's a good place for Japanese imports in general, whether it be video games, whatever. Now, obviously, that's a lot of money to spend on a toy, and for most people, that's crazy. That's basically, you could almost buy 2 copies of the game for that kind of money. On the flip side, we have the Marvel Legends series, which run for about 20 bucks. You can get these at most toy stores, if those exist where you live. Walgreens carries them, Target carries them, and they make basically an entire suite of Spider-Man figures. They have entire Spider-Man lines. Specifically, if you love Spider-Man for PS4, you'll be happy to know that many of the unlockable costumes in that game exist here in toy form.
And this isn't even all of them. Like, this is like, you could probably comfortably get at least half the suits in that game in figure form.
I will say, much to my chagrin, you can get the iconic black suit Spider-Man toy. That is not in the game yet. There are suits kind of like it, but this one itself, just not there yet. So hopefully they get there eventually. But obviously, you know, let's talk about some of these. What do we have here? We have Spider-Punk.
Spider-Punk, we have Iron Spider, we have Spider Noir, we have the homemade suit, we have the white 2099 suit, of course, just the classic suit.
Yeah, this is the one I bought myself, which they repacked in some of the card art that they used to do, like way back in the original kind of like Secret Wars line. And he comes with a little pizza slice, which I really love.
It's really cute. Very New York.
So yeah, these are also very articulated. You can't swap their eyes in and out, but this will give you your Spider fix until the Spider-Man PS4 DLC is out very soon and for the next few months. So that's just a few options you have if you, like us, are completely hooked on Spider-Man and you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop buying toys. I think you should buy toys. I'm an adult man with a 5 o'clock shadow, and I think toys are cool. So
same.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, he's got a full beard. So we're real burly adult dudes, and we think toys are great. They're basically precious moments.
I get described as burly all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So for all things toys and manliness and Spider-Manliness, you're already in the right place. IGN. I think that was our best outro.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so.